Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the annual convention of Samagi Buddhi Mandavaya. Ladies and gentlemen, may we please rise for the national anthem of Sri Lanka.
தேசிய கீதமதனை இசைக்க அனைவரையும் எழுந்திருக்குமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றோம்.
සමගී බුද්ධිමණ්ඩපය සංවිධානය කරන රට ගොඩනගන නුවණ වැඩසටහනට සම්ප්‍රාප්ත ඔබ සියලු දෙනා ඉතාම ගෞරවයෙන් පිළිගනිමින් මාතෘ භූමියට ප්‍රණාම දැක්වීම සඳහා ජාතික ගීය වෙනුවෙන් පුනස්තෙන් නැගී සිටීමට ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට ආරාධනා කර සිටිනවා.
Sri Lanka, an island but whose past, present and the future are interconnected, interwoven and intertwined to the world in ways that our story comes with a million perspectives, located at the crossroads of the world and visited by travelers, conquerors, mariners and wayfarers. Sri Lanka is a melting pot of cultures, traditions and tales whose origins are long forgotten, from ancient battles to recent civil wars, from historic revolutions to modern Aragalea. From medieval droughts to tsunami, Sri Lanka is a true survivor. And like any survivor, Sri Lanka holds a baggage of trauma, but it also nurtures a spring of hope. And hope is a light not for one man or woman to carry, but a light that each of us must keep alive with our ideas, thoughts, actions, and most importantly, our collaborative spirit. Together, we are not just an intellectual force, but the carriers of hope for the nation. And we pledge to greet every challenge our nation faces with resilience and collaboration that will inspire the world. May Sri Lanka's hopes and dreams take flight on the wings of our intellectual kinship. Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya, Rata Godanagana, Nuwana.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and members of the intellectual community. A very warm welcome to all of you to the annual convention of Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya, Sri Lanka's premier and largest intellectual forum dedicated to shaping our nation's future. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Sajid Premadasa, we proudly present this policy dialogue forum with the theme of Rata Godanagana Nuwana, the wisdom that builds the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a historic gathering as we have with us the largest assembly here of university professionals and lecturers from all 17 state universities joining hands to support the Samagi Janabalagaya, uniting as the formidable Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya. The mission of this forum is clear: to formulate policies that propel Sri Lanka towards economic, political, social and geopolitical excellence, all by empowering our people. As we convene here today, let us embark on a journey of intellect, dialogue, and collaboration. Together, we can pave the way for a brighter tomorrow as we delve into critical discussions and initiatives that will shape the destiny of our beloved nation.
Tudo sabe. Sabe que o último ano foi sabe rápido agora uma vez você samarai sah tahu ini rápido agora tuh ये बहुत ही रात बोलने लगा मेरे नाम बहुत ही वाला वासी है ये वो है अब ये बहुत ही रात बोलने लगा मेरे वासी नून पावना ऐसा हमारे रात बोलने लगा नून नहीं है ये तो सागर साल आपके इधर यहाँ पे हम ये सागर साल हम लोग तो आता है हम लोग ये बात कमाई व्यवस्था और समाधान बिल्कुल दुनिया हमारे साथ एक Pelajaran siapa raja somehow translation dia itu sendiri acharya sarah itu vidyarthi instan merah bagaimana bahasa itu tanah itu raja की नियुक्ति में संबंध समाज व्यापार नारी की एवं व्यवसाय की इतने हमारे प्रधान मेरे नमगे मुक्ति में नायकत्व नाटक संवाद ताकि नूर निराकरण दरबार इनके पात्र विशाल विशाल मुक्ति निस्तार के प्रोग्राम इंसान समग्र गुरु मंडल के संविधान विकरण रात गुरु नागरिक नूर निने नवल नारा बुद्धि नूर बैठना कभी उससे उमाले तो
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இலங்கையின் அறிவார்ந்த ஆட்சியின் கலங்கரை விளக்கமான ஐக்கிய புலனாய்வு மையத்தால் நடாத்தப்படும் கொள்கை உரையாடல் மன்றத்துக்கு உங்கள் அனைவரையும் அன்புடன் வரவேற்கின்றோம். இன்று நமது தேசத்தின் முன்னேற்றத்தை நோக்கி வழிநடாத்தும் நாட்டினை கட்டமைக்கும் ஞானம் என்னும் குறிக்கோளின் மூலம் நாம் அனைவரையும் ஒன்றிணைந்து உணரப்பெறுகிறோம். மதிப்பிற்குரிய திரு சஜித் பிரேமதாஸ் அவர்களின் தலைமையின் கீழ் இந்த வரலாற்று நிகழ்வானது இலங்கையின் எதிர்காலத்தை வடிவமைக்கும் ஒரு பயணத்தின் ஒரு முக்கியமான தருணத்தை குறிக்கிறது. இத்தருணத்தில் யாழ் பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் மதிப்பிற்குரிய தூதுக்குழுவினருக்கு விசேட அங்கீகாரத்துடன் நாடு முழுவதிலும் உள்ள தனியார் மற்றும் அரசு பல்கலைக்கழகங்களின் பிரதிநிதிகள் உட்பட இங்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் பங்கேற்பாளர் அனைவருக்கும் எமது அன்பான வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். உயர் ஸ்தானியர்கள், தூதர்கள், தொழில் வல்லுநர்கள், வணிக சமூகத்தின் உறுப்பினர்கள், ஊடக பணியாளர்கள், சமூக ஊடக ஆர்வலர்கள் மற்றும் இளமையாற்றலுடன் எங்கள் விவாதங்களை தூண்ட காத்திருக்கும் இளம் உள்ளங்களையும் இன்று வரவேற்பதில் நான் மிகவும் பெருமையடைகின்றேன். நம்பிக்கையினால் நிறைந்த இதயங்களுக்கும் எண்ணங்களால் பிரகாசிக்கும் மனங்களுடன் இந்த உரையாடலை தொடங்குவோம். நாம் இலங்கையை மேம்படுத்தும் ஒரு பாடத்திட்டத்தை பட்டியலிடுவதற்கான அர்ப்பணிப்புடன் ஒன்றிணைவோம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we now commence the forum this evening, it's our pleasure to introduce you an esteemed professor who will be doing the honors of the welcome address. Professor Opal B. Disanaika, a distinguished senior professor in oral pathology and former Vice-Chancellor of the University of Pennsylvania, is renowned for his expertise in oral pathology, human genetics, and dental surgery. With over 25 journal publications and significant contributions to academia, he remains a leading figure in the field. We are delighted now to invite the esteemed professor to deliver the welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming on stage Professor Opal B. Disanaika.
the leader of the Summit General Media and the leader of the opposition, Mr. Sajid K. Master, His Excellencies, the ambassadors, guest speakers came from overseas, former vice chancellors, senior professors, senior lecturers, and lecturers of both government and private sector universities of Sri Lanka, all other professionals, intellectuals, scholars from different sectors, chairman and all other office bearers of Samagi Bhutni Mandapur, Honorable General Secretary, Mr. Ranjit Mathukumandar, all the members of the Parliament, and ladies and gentlemen. It's with great pleasure and enthusiasm that I stand before you today in this pleasant evening to deliver the welcome address of second annual Congress of the Samagi Bhutni Mandapur, the academic and intellectual forum affiliated to Samagi Dana Balagiri. Before I go into my formal welcome speech, it's my duty and the responsibility to explain the purpose of this meeting at this juncture, especially from the Honorable Leader's point of view. In other words, how the leadership is going to mobilize academics and intellectuals for the growth and development of our motherland within a future government of Samagi Charanmalai. Following this, I am sure that Chairman of the Association for Sananda Chavikrama will elaborate on the core aims and objectives of the Samagi Bhutni Mandapur. I will certainly be able to inform in this August Assembly that the prime commitment of the leader of the SJP is to accommodate as much academics and intellectuals as possible within the administration of the Samagi Balagiri government, which is certain to be established in the near future. Highlighting the focus of the visionary leadership of the SJP, I would like to emphasize the fact that pivotal role and vital responsibilities will be given to academics and intellectuals in the forthcoming government of Samagi Charanmalai with the intention of addressing the multifaceted challenges faced by our nation. In other words, the SJP hopes to utilize the intellectual capacity of experts in Sri Lanka to the maximum for the benefit of the country. This meeting will help the party and the leadership to initiate a framework to identify and leverage the expertise of esteemed scholars and academics across various fields in national development, namely government policy formulation, planning developmental projects, etc., regardless of the personal political affiliations of scholars. Further, this meeting would pave the way for the SJP and the leadership to create an environment for direct collaboration with the academic community and intellectual community of this country with the aim of establishing a government guided by the scientific governance principles with the contribution of experts and specialists in an array of fields. I am happy to mention that the leader will position this assembly as the initial step towards the decisive electoral journey of the leader and the party in this year of elections, symbolizing the party's respect and honor with the academics and intellectual community. Please permit me to read this in Sinhala too. නායකත්වයේ සංවිධාන බලවේගයේ ඒ වගේම මේ හමුවීමේ මූලික පරමාර්ථ වශයෙන් මට මෙහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්. ඉදිරි අනාගතයේදී නියත වශයෙන්ම ගොඩනගන සංවිධාන බලවේගයේ රජය තුල බුද්ධිමතුන් හා උගතුන්ට විශාල ඉඩකඩක් සැලසෙන බව මූර්තිමත් කිරීම එක අරමුණක් මේ හමුවීම. එලෙසින්ම සමවිද්‍යාන බලවේගයේ පාලනයක් තුළ හැකිතාක් දුරට බුද්ධිමතුන් හා උගතුන් ස්ථානගත කිරීම නායකත්වයේ ප්‍රධාන අරමුණක් බව මේ සභාවට දැනුම් දීමට කැමැතියි. තවද රාජ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්ති සැකසීම සහ රාජ්‍ය සංවර්ධන ව්‍යාපෘති සැලසුම් කිරීම පක්ෂ වේදිකී තොරව ඒ විෂය ක්ෂේත්‍රවල ප්‍රාමාණික උගතුන්ගේ හා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ බුද්ධිමතුන්ගේ මෙහෙවර රටේ දියුණුව වෙනුවෙන් යොදා ගැනීම සඳහා පසුබිම සකස් කර ගැනීම. උගතුන් හා බුද්ධිමතුන් කේන්ද්‍රගත විද්‍යාත්මක රාජ්‍ය පාලනය සඳහා මේ රට විශ්වවිද්‍යාල ප්‍රජාව මෙන්ම ප්‍රාමාණික බුද්ධිමතුන් සමග ඍජුව වැඩ කිරීමේ පසුබිම සකසා ගැනීම උගතුන් හා බුද්ධිමතුන්ට නිසි තැන මෙන්ම නිසි පිළිගැනීම ඇති රජය බිහි කිරීම සඳහා අඩිතාලම දැනීම ඒ වගේම අවසාන වශයෙන් බුද්ධිමතුන් හා උගතුන් හා දක්වන කෞරවයක් පිළිගැනීම පිළිපිළි කරමින් ගරුනායකතුමාගේ තීරණාත්මක මැතිවරණ ව්‍යාපාරයේ පළමු පියවර ලෙස මෙම මහා සමුද්‍ර සනිටුහන් කිරීම. Having said that, now I would like to request permission from you to deliver the formal welcome speech. First of all, I would like to warmly welcome our honorable leader, Mr. Sajid Premdasa, who has joined us to grace this very important occasion as the chief guest despite his busy schedules. Next, my welcome goes to all the ambassadors present here today to mark this significant occasion. May I also cordially welcome guest speakers, Mr. Surijit Bandha, who came here all the way from India to deliver a guest lecture. Professor Abhay Singh from National University of Singapore, I welcome you, and your presence here today is greatly appreciated. Most important, I would like to extend my warm welcome that participants from intellectual community, you are also welcome to this event. Honorable General Secretary, I welcome all of you for this important function. Finally, welcoming all, I wrap up my welcome speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Professor Upul B. Disanaika for those opening remarks, setting the tone for a very thought-provoking assembly that brings together the brightest minds of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, up next, it's time for us to get an overview into the aims, objectives, as well as the progress made by the Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya. And to do the honors of this next address, it's my pleasure to introduce you the President of Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya. Dr. J.M. Ananda Jayavikrama, a senior professor in economics at the University of Peradeniya, is recognized for his expertise in fiscal policy, taxation, and sustainable development. With a distinguished career, he has made significant contributions to academia and research, including his role as founding director of the Postgraduate Institute of Humanities and Social Sciences. Dr. Jayavikrama's scholarly endeavors have shaped discussions on economic policies and sustainable development. We're truly honored to have him as the president of this forum, and it's our pleasure now to invite him on stage to address the gathering. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dr. J.M. Ananda Jayavikrama.
of the Samagya Namala area, Mr. Kajit Perimkasa. His or Her Excellencies, the Foreign Ambassadors and the representatives, our respected invited speakers, Mr. Sudhir Bala and Professor Tilak Abhisinga, who is very close to me as a teacher, mentor, and my PhD advisor. Honorable members of Parliament and all the academics, scholars, and representatives of other professional groups who are attending this meeting. Now, this is the second assembly of Intellectual Forum for People, which we renamed today as Samagi Intellectual Forum and Samagi Buddhimana. This assembly symbolizes a historic gathering of academic, researchers, scholars, experts of this country under the banner of Buddhimana. This gathering is a cross-section of academics, intellectuals, and scholars of all public universities and private universities and scholars and researchers in various centers of this country. This gathering is a cross-section of all the like-minded academics and intellectuals who believe that the current ill-fated political course of this country should be stopped and be changed. This gathering believes that a new chapter of governance and ruling economic framework should be initiated for the betterment of the country. There is a huge informal debate within academics in various universities on what role that we should play in politics of this country. Some say we are intellectuals, we have the knowledge supremacy, thus politicians should come behind us and let us be consulted. This is one view of some academics within the university sector. For me, this is a more principled view that if that happens, it is very fine that the universities will be frequent visiting places by various kind of political leaders and parliamentarians. But unfortunately, we know that only very few follow this course of action. I know personally the honorable leader, Sajid Premadasa, called various intellectuals and university academics and consulted them for various issues. Other than that, politicians and MPs and political leaders do not consult academics on their own, and that principle view is remain same. Then there is another group of academics and intellectuals who have been used to justify whatever the thing that the politicians do. So we observe this kind of academics few years back, say when it comes to Kalanikovra and Dhammika, we found very large number of academics and intellectuals justifying those course of action. Now, where we belong? Frankly, we are not in about two groups. We have to think about the possibility of having a third way where intellectuals and the politicians, leadership, debate and deliberate on issues at hand and reach a consensus and then implement those consensus. Now, this kind of deliberation and this kind of debate should be created. The political should and a kind of willingness to consult and discuss with academics and intellectuals of this country. And we found that that kind of culture is within the SJP leadership, and Honorable Sajid Premadasa frequently requests us to give our opinion on various things. Like when the budget comes, he arranges various meetings with the academics and the intellectuals to discuss those matters. And also, as academics, we have to be prepared. We have to be prepared and thoroughly prepared when we are going for that kind of discussions. Otherwise, both groups will not be implemented. So therefore, I think over the last 4 years, we have been able to conduct various successful discussions with the SJB and its leadership and its parliamentarians when we come to decision making on various matters. Now this is the point that we operate. At the present also, we are working with the leadership and the party on critical discussions like whether we agree with IMF program or whether we are going to assume power when Gotabaya Rajapaksa invited us to do so. So we had discussions and we made decisions together and those points. I think we got benefited and we have been benefited out of those discussions, and most of the decisions that we made together are much more effective for the benefit of the country. Since 2022, we continue to discuss issues related to various aspects of this governance and the economic program of the country. Now, one question that my academic groups are frequently asked is, how reliable is the political leadership delivering the pledges that he or she made once coming to the power? So this is a kind of debate and this is a kind of matter that always we have to answer, and this is an important occasion that the leadership of the party can clarify. This is an important issue and concern to answer. This question is more valid and finds its ground with the failure of the Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, with due respect to all the members with us now, earlier with the Vietnam, so the Vietnam program failed deliberately in addressing the issues of this country. Mr. Sajid Premadasa has clarified his intention and his plan for intellectuals many a times in our discussions. So I leave that question to the leader to take up in his speech today. We started this group with 18 members just a few months after Gotabaya Rajapaksa secured two-thirds majority in the parliament. Giant elephant reduced to the skin, and a brand new party, SJB, secured more than 50 seats in the parliament. At that point, we as academics and intellectuals had three possibilities to consider. First option for us was, if we had the intention to garner public force and funds, we could have approached Gotabaya Rajapaksa or Mahinda Rajapaksa or even Ranil Wickremesinghe later on. But we didn't do that. Second option, we had to play a wait and see game, loitering around and observing the changing political conditions to choose the best side just before making election. That also we didn't do. We rejected both and we decided to maintain a riskier position in politics. That is, to go alone the newly established party, the leadership of that party, to take challenges and support the party to get things right and get it stronger before elections start. We decided to work with the opposition leader, Mr. Hajit Premadasa, to make the party. We disappeared with the side to name someone as a member. The harm done by Vietnam to political engagement of academics and intellectuals is serious and very difficult to reverse. Even today, we find many people fear to engage in politicals after the Vietnam nightmare. And that is not it. When we, the members of Buddhi Mandapaya, go public for various events, the people try to twist us. The most difficult question that people put before us was and is, are you another Vietnam? So they ask from us, when we say we are Buddhi Mandapaya, they ask, are you another Vietnam? Some made nasty comments on that. We had to answer those questions too. On the other hand, when Buddhi Mandapaya was sent to the forefront of discussion with honorable parliamentarians on tricky things, our lives was not easy. We have been tested in those battles in many times. One time, one MP told us, look, professors, you are more theoretical and conceptual. But as responsible persons for public, we the politicians to be practical. So when we are discussing budget, one of our MPs, honorable MPs, asked that question. So it was a serious comment, and we had to prove that, yes, we are theoretical and we are conceptual and also we are practical. Our take to this party was and is that if you can find a conceptual base for your pragmatics and your practice, you are in a good position not to lose over your action. Many decisions that we recommend over the last 4 years are still practical, and as such decisions help us keep head high even in most difficult times. Example, rejecting to assume power granted by Rajapaksa. Rejecting conditionalities of current IMF package. What I want to say to this assembly is that we have worked with the leader and the party to get its policy right, get its decision right, and simply become a group that contribute and defend the party using intellectual capacity and intellectual attractiveness. This is the very reason why we rejected a proposal to make Buddhi Mandapaya an independent body. When we are establishing it, some of the academics say that we should not attach to the party, we should make it independent. Then majority of us said no, we have to be attached to the party, we have to make it attached to the party, then only we can make a difference. So we decided that way, and today also we are having Buddhi Mandapaya attached to this party. An independent body has very limited operations in politics. An independent body cannot contribute to the extent that we contribute to the party today. So we have taken the right and more practical approach in sense as well. The leader in early days used to ask, what is the value addition that you bring to the party? So this is a very question that leader asked from us. So he asked us to tell us what we going to add to the party as a new value. With your permission, sir, I am so happy to say that we have brought that value addition in many fronts and many ways to the party. This event itself is a great value addition to the party as well as our political cause. Our lone existence as politically minded group of intellectuals simply testify that we have been able to do something different and something good for the party and the country. I want to reiterate that we don't have any competition in this group, and we do not have any competition and any challenge within us. We have the fight outside. I request all the members of the Buddhi Mandapaya to get ready for the party, to fight for the party outside challenges. We have the responsibility of telling the truth to the people and get their moral consensus right. I reiterated the fact that Buddhi Mandapaya is not to deceive people for petty political gains, but it is to build a sound and informed mindset of people to engage in true and useful discussions and politics. We need your support for that. I kindly request our all academics and intellectuals to join with us in large numbers with free and open mindset and committed intellectual readiness to solve the problems of this country. We need to create a strong voice against injustice and harm inflicted on general public and come up with alternative policy program and plan to revive and rebuild this country. We have already given our policy recommendations and suggestions to the party in many areas, and we are ready to discuss and revise them upon the merit of alternative suggestions. Therefore, at this point, we invite all academics and intellectuals of this country to rally around us to make our cause and action stronger in our endeavor for creating a better country. Finally, I ensure you all that we will protect our principles and our norms that we believe right and moral, irrespective of the loss or what we have to sacrifice for that. Let me to summarize very briefly the speech in Sinhala. So, අපි මේක බලාපොරොත්තුනේ බුද්ධි මණ්ඩපය මේ සම්මන්ත්‍රණය හරහා මේ දක්වා අපි ලබා දීලා තියෙන දායකත්වයත් ඒ පිළිබඳව ඔබ සියලු දෙනා දැනුවත් කරලා මේ රටේ ඉදිරි අනාගතයේ ශක්තිමත් කිරීම සඳහා බුද්ධි මණ්ඩපය කොයි ආකාරයෙන් දායක වෙනවද කියන එක පිළිබඳව. With that note, I will thank you all, and we wish to work with you for the betterment of this country. Thank you very much.
We say thank you very much to Dr. J.M. Ananda Ajay Vikrama, the president of this intellectual forum, for giving us an insightful address and providing us a glimpse into the aims as well as the progress made by Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we are truly privileged that gracing our forum we have with us two internationally renowned thought leaders who are our guest speakers for the day. I'm sure we all eagerly await learning from their expertise and perspectives. Now, to do the honors of introducing our first guest speaker to you, we are delighted to have with us Professor G.L. Pires. Allow me to introduce Professor Pires to you. With a distinguished academic career culminating in a PhD from the University of Oxford, Professor G.L. Pires has established himself as a prominent figure in the field of law. He served as the Vice Chancellor of the University of Colombo, authored 12 books, and published over 75 papers, contributing significantly to legal scholarship. Parallel to his academic pursuits, Professor G.L. Pires has also made notable strides in the political arena. Since 1994, he has served as a member of parliament, wielding his influence in various ministerial positions, including that as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Education. His dual commitment to academia and politics underscores his multifaceted contributions to society. With this introduction, ladies and gentlemen, to now put the honors of introducing our first guest speaker, who is Surjit S. Valla, we now invite to the stage Professor G.L. Pires. Let's welcome him with a loud round of applause.
Leader of the Samagi Janata Viveke and leader of the opposition, Honorable Salil Premadasa, Mrs. Janani Premadasa, General Secretary, Honorable Ranjit Naduma Bandara, Your Excellencies, Members of Parliament, our distinguished speakers from overseas, my colleagues from the academic community, and friends. First of all, may I say that we are deeply happy and privileged to welcome to this function representatives from all 17 universities in our country. This is the national conference of the Samagi Buddhi Mandapaya, and its function is to establish the policy foundations of a new administration, for which there is really a dire need in our country at this time. It makes sense to look at successful experiences elsewhere. It is a futile exercise to try to reinvent the wheel. There's no need to do that. The challenge is not only to win elections, but to offer the country a program of work which is timely and which constitutes an imaginative response to the variety of challenges that this nation is facing today. So by all means, let us consider how other countries have responded to similar challenges, but subject to the caveat that we cannot mechanically copy policies which have been applied with success elsewhere. We must have the creativity and the finesse to adapt those policies to suit the combination of circumstances in our own country. A little later, we will have a panel discussion in which the participants will be the leaders of the academic community in our country. And their insights will be supplemented by contributions from distinguished speakers from overseas with authoritative status in their chosen subjects. It is now my pleasure to introduce the first of these speakers,